This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, are the real star of today's show. And happy Thursday to everybody out there. And we are here just to chat amongst our friends about the wonderful world of sim racing. And I say it each and every day, go have these conversations at work, go have these conversations with your family, and people get that blank stare on their face like, what are you talking about? Please go away. But here you are amongst friends to talk about sim racing. If there's anything you know about in the world of sim racing, you be sure to let me know in the chat. And if I don't have it on my stories, I will try to find it, make sure we cover it. And again, some of these stories are important, some of these not so much. And we'll go a little more in depth on the ones that require or deserve it. And of course, that includes your guys' input and thoughts as well. So starting things off, and this is that Forza, they made a change to their broadcast schedule. So here is, this is their Twitter feed. And again, all the links to all the stories are at simpit.com. Just look for that, that thumbnail image of today's show, and you'll be able to follow along if you like. But they changed the schedule, and big deal. Okay, so it is happening this weekend. What I've been fascinated, I wish I had some photos. I think I have one throughout the show at some point with the Logitech team. I saw pictures like guys in the red line showing their bags packed and their tickets on their way, and they didn't say where. I wonder if they're on their way to Seattle. Are those guys crashing this party as well? I do know that Logitech FA has some drivers heading to Seattle right now to take part in this big event going on. But there is a broadcast schedule. It will be televised, and this is definitely one of the first steps towards the new era. You know, we're seeing every sim with its own esport competition now, and that is great news for all of us. Speaking of which, well, not speaking of which, completely different. Formula One posted a video of Daniel Ricciardo, doing a hot lap. So here's a cool video. You want to get a preview of Albert Park, Melbourne. You want to see Red Bull Racing and Daniel Ricciardo out on track. There's a cool video, and this just shows you, again, another level of changing in the times, Who would have thought that you'd get the real-life pros just every day, again, on every sim, whether you're talking Formula One driver, GRC drivers, it doesn't matter. They're all doing sim. They're doing this to promote their name. Make no mistake, we all love Nicky Thim, and we all think he's a sim racing genius. But think about how this all works for him. And I'm not trying to take anything away from what he does. It's brilliant. He brings with him thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers. That's like bringing sponsorship dollars to a company. That's like saying, look, I already have a following. Just bring me on, and you automatically get that free content, those free viewers, those free fans. So make no mistake, there's a reason these guys are doing this kind of stuff. He's getting his name out there. He's making new fans through the sim racing world, and sort of that lower crowd, that younger crowd is what I really mean. Ellis is in the building. We're going to talk about that in a moment, just for briefly. But anyway, I did not watch the whole thing, but I am going to talk about it here. So next up, a picture of iRacing scanning. So you want to... If you've never seen the scanner, there's the iRacing truck. If you go to Boston, you'll see that in the parking lot of their offices. And there is their scanner, their portable scanner, and they are at CLT Motor Speedway to capture the changes made to the Roval. Charlotte Motor Speedway. We just talked about the new layout yesterday. Who's already there? iRacing is already there rescanning that infield. Too bad they won't have that done for us on Saturday for our big race, but that will be coming. And will be a big deal, being that they're trying to emulate the real NASCAR. I mean, if there's one series that iRacing is all over, it's NASCAR. Speaking of iRacing and speaking of Esport World Championships, in case you didn't realize, iRacing at this point has 6 cash-paying World Championship level events. So even though iRacing is a little different than all the other esports in that it's very internal, it's very online, they are really pretty big contenders in the world of esport at this point. You got to give them a little bit of credit for that. Next up, moving on to RFactor. They've added some documentation to their website regarding tires. So if you want to know everything about what they think, how they process, what they're looking at when they're thinking of tires, things that they're using to differentiate one to another, to another, to another. Great article for the super techie people. This is way over my head. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. I'm telling you about it because for some it'll be interesting. You might want to go check it out. But it was a terrible lap by Dan. I agree, V, and that's something you actually have to think about when you think about these pros coming into sim racing trying to look good. Well, if they don't look good, they look bad. So, yeah, you got to be careful about how you do that. Our tease of the day from Dakar. Here we are. Dirt roads, infinite dunes, the absolute middle of nowhere. Where do you want to go on Dakar 18? You'd think I'd get sick of these, doing them every day. Not yet. I'm not sick of them yet. I can keep watching these over and over again. This is one of those that I think will just be fun to play. I'm really looking forward to this. This might even be one that I actually prefer it on, like, the total PlayStation type platform anyway. Next up, happy birthday to you. I should not make a tradition of that. Sebastian Job, it's his birthday. This guy was going to do a big test in a Formula car, and it was snowed out. So, anyway, he's still waiting to get out in the car, and he is part of the crew. Look, Arlene Mallet, bags packed, passport ready, on his way to Seattle. We know what he's on his way there for. There's only one thing going on in the world of sim racing in Seattle right now. Hello, Rhino. So, happy birthday to Sebastian, and best of luck to the Fernando Alonso racing team as they... Really, I mean, it's like they announced their team, and next thing you know, these guys are all over the world competing. So, my hat's off to them and what they're doing. This is at Thrustmaster. No new news, but I thought this was a great meme. Is this still continuing? Are they still calling these memes? I'm not sure. They've kind of left the original thought in my mind. But anyway, my sim rig steering wheel is nicer than the actual steering wheel. My car's actual steering wheel. Anyway, I thought that's funny, and for a great many of us, this is very true. Not even a hard statement to make. Dive-a-bin, you like that, huh? For Dakar, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a controller playable game. You know, when I tried to map my wheel in Grand Theft Auto, it didn't take. And it didn't matter, though. It plays so well with the controller. So some games just straight out of the box play really well with the controller. And there might not be any advantage to a wheel in certain games. Oh, yeah, that voice. That voice is priceless. We'll make a fortune on that singing voice. Ricciardo Hot Lap Pump Day was yesterday, and let me just bring up a different graphic. Here's the graphic from my thing. If you didn't see this stream yesterday, you might want to check it out. And I'm not saying watch all 4 hours of it, although it was an intense hot lap competition that I only finished in 7th, so I didn't even do all that well. But there were some big names out there. A lot of the guys from the Extreme Motorsports League, and those guys are fast. Anyway, the reason I'm mentioning it is we had a camera showing somebody driving. They were changing out drivers in that exact rig we're looking at on the screen right now at Ricciardo. I was driving. You saw me. You saw them. We had Kevin Ford of Extreme Motorsports, who's got like the great classic announcer voice. You had him calling a few different, Jeff, I can't remember his last name, did a hot lap with them calling it all the way around the lap. He was calling some of my laps. It was very, very fun. And if you didn't get a chance to see that, you might want to go check it out. It's on the YouTube channel at the Simpit. Fun stream. 4 hours long, so you might want to advance through it, but you might find that it was a little more entertaining than you'd ever imagine for a 4-hour stream. Thank you to Kevin Ford of Extreme Motorsports. Thank you, Frank Rico of Ricciardo. And thank you for everybody who competed in it, and thank you for everybody who watched live, because we did have a pretty good time last night. And that's why we didn't do our track last night, which I'm going to get back to in just a moment. Video, a lot of people have mentioned it. I've watched a little bit of it. I haven't watched the whole thing, to be totally honest with you. But William Marsh of Sim Racing Paddock was able to go down to San Mateo, I believe it is, in the Bay Area, and check out the Feel VR wheel. Now, this is a prototype version of the wheel still. And you can find out his thoughts on it. I'm just gonna let you know about it because, again, I've only watched a little bit. I know there was a little issue, but again, we're still in that prototype phase to be expected. But you'll be able to get some good shots and hear about it and hear what Williams' thoughts on that wheel are. That's at simracingpaddock.com. Nathan drives in the Extreme Motorsports. You guys are fast, Nathan. I can't believe, I mean, and I remember I ran one event with you guys and I was a bat marker. And you guys sent a handful. Oh, gosh, thank you. Sorry. Rick Motek. Sim Racing Paddock did a video on the Feel VR wheel. No, it was me, John. It was all me. I forgot to take down my graphic. But as I was saying, as you guys watch some of this, Nathan, yeah, you guys are really fast. And the guys who showed up last night were unbelievable. I mean, I drove for 4 hours and 7th was the best I could do. And I was pushing pretty hard. But I did learn something, and I could have cheated last night, and I didn't. Me and John Hill had a whole conversation. That car, the Mazda, is good for a full second faster if you have a draft. John and I could have gone out and done some lead follows, and my best lap was done on a clean lap without any draft at all. But we could have drafted and easily picked up another second. The other thing, and I could have done this, it was, it was also buffering. Okay. We could have run, now I was crashing a lot. John could have done this. I couldn't have done this. We could have run it almost out of gas. And then I'm pretty sure you can come in and take tires even on a fixed setup because it doesn't know what you're testing and what the situation is. So run it down to like about 8 or 10 gallons. Come in for fresh tires, go warm them up, and then set a hot lap. So if you had done that, and you had also got a draft, you could have blown away the charts last night. But it would have been cheating, or, I don't know, is that cheating? That's my question of the day to you guys. Hot lap competition, everyone's running on fixed setup. Do you draft? Do you run it out of fuel and go get fresh tires? Do you pull every trick out of the playbook to win? Or do you treat it more gentlemanly and straight up? And I thought, well, I don't think anybody else is thinking it through. I might be the only one who's thought that through. I'm not going to take advantage of it. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. Go check out Williams' video on the Feel VR Direct Drive wheel. His exclusive first test drive at Sim Racing Paddock. This isn't new news. We've been talking a lot about VR. And the PMAX is one of the expected high-end VR units. Incredible resolution, widescreen viewing. And somebody sent this in, actually the man, I don't want to say somebody, the man sent this in, and look at how much they've raised. These guys have raised $4 million through 6,000 people. It's not cheating if the game allows it. I agree, Tom. All race teams cheat. And is it cheating if you're not breaking the rules? I mean, I don't think any of that is cheating. I just knew or had a hunch that nobody else was doing it. So I didn't want to do that in order to jump up the board when I thought nobody else. If I thought somebody else, and I don't know, I didn't go look at the fast guy's lap time to see if he had a draft. Maybe he didn't. Maybe I should have called John on the phone and said, all right, dude, you lead me, then I'll lead you. Yeah, if you don't operate in that gray area, you lose. Absolutely, Amir. I completely agree with you guys. I don't disagree one bit. Exploits and cheats are not the same. I agree with you, Major Series. By the way, hey, Major Series, thank you for being here. I love running in the Major Series. Can't wait. I'm already practicing for the next event, just to give you an idea how into the Major Series I am. It's become... it's really become my favorite because as much as I love the iRacing giant special events, sometimes they end up with problems and things have been flawless running in the Major Series. Yeah, if F1 works like that all the time, Velocity, very, very good point. And no, real racers, they totally draft, teacher. Nice sarcasm. I totally caught that. So no, I agree. I agree. And it did cross my mind. And I did do a lap that I got a draft, but then I was held up by that car. But I did notice that it ruined my optimal for the night. So every time I was out solo, I wasn't even able to compare that even with the greatest run off the corner. It was actually making me look bad or feel bad. Feel bad. I don't care about how I look. You guys judge by what I do. Also on the VR concept, HTC's standalone Vive Focus VR will be shipping in 2018. So we are right now seeing a little bit of an acceleration of the new units, higher resolution. It's pushing things, but everybody better start getting ready to buy new graphics cards, because if they're going to push the resolution, it's not just the units being able to supply it, it's your computer being able to supply it. Todd, but it's against the rules. If it was our juice guys against your juice guys, that would be a fair competition. And that's coming from one of the biggest Lance Armstrong fans on earth prior to hearing how it all really played out. And in his defense, everybody was cheating. So if you didn't cheat, you were going to get your ass kicked. And getting your ass kicked in the Tour de France hurts in a way real bad. I mean, because it's physical and emotional. Red Bull Gaming Sphere opens in London this week. So this is a big deal. This is their big gaming arena. They're going to be doing all sorts of things. And one cool thing about it, and I did see an image at the Fanatics site. Let me see if I can cue it up to the cool part. Oh, there it is. They do have 2 sim rigs. So they are thinking not just shooters, but there. Red Bull Gaming at their big gaming sphere. They've got 2 dedicated rigs sitting side by side, equipped with some Fanatic gear. That's why you can find that at the Fanatic site and why they're pretty excited about it. But this is quite a venue, and it opens this week. I'm jealous, all you in the UK. Go check it out. Get some photos. Get some videos. Let me know what's going on. Be a reporter for the Simpit. In fact, I don't care if it's this story or any story. You're out there, and you have a sim racing-related story, then I would love you to send it in. I mean, become a reporter for the Simpit. I will air it in a heartbeat. So, whatever you can do. Hello, Patrick Jetski. Look at that. One of my teammates, one of my endurance racing teammates in the room. How you doing, Patrick? Steroids, coffee. Coffee's my cheat. Coffee is my cheat. You can see I went out for coffee today. All right, moving right along. Oregon Tech joins the competitive esport ranks. So another college going pro sporting. They're going to have a big tournament there. They're kicking off their team, the Works, esport growing in areas that I'm still not sure how it feels to me to hear about scholarships being given in gaming. I mean, and in my defense of thinking that way, it's not against gaming. I might have an issue with how many scholarships are given away for sport versus for academics. As much as I love sport, as much as I love racing, and I played college soccer, but as much as I love these things, I didn't have a scholarship to play, by the way. I was a walk-on. But as much as I love college sports, I would rather they give tons more money on the academic side than gaming or sports in college. So as I question this, it's the same way I question real sport scholarships to the level that they do. I mean, to this point, certain programs that you know by name, they run the school, not the academics. So I'm not for that. I'm for higher intelligence. And speaking of higher intelligence, there is a deal on the Ryzen 7 1708 core 3 gigahertz or 3.7 in turbo mode chipset, down from $330 down to $279. So that's a $50 deal. Ends in 5 days. That's at Newegg. So everybody looking to go Ryzen, that might be a good option. They do have it with the ASRock Fatality. Johnny Fatality. I remember when Jessica interviewed that guy. One of the first big full-time, make a living, make good money gaming guys. And now his name's all over products, but you can get it comboed with the board for $159 on the board. Anyway, might be a good deal if you're looking to build a system. Cool. Not cool. This is a UK GT Sport ad was pulled. I believe it was in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was in Europe. I think it was in the UK. The reason their ad was pulled was because they showed content. Thank you, Viking. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much, and I appreciate the over 100 of you who were here watching and hanging out talking sim racing. So anyway, what they did was they did a commercial for GT Sport. And all they did wrong, apparently, is show some of the DLC content. So when they're saying buy GT Sport, and they're showing a car that doesn't come with GT Sport, that is misleading by advertising standards. So they had to pull their commercial. Interesting. And who would expect Sony to not know better at this point in time when it comes to that kind of stuff, because they go way beyond gaming. Steam is actually at school today, so he is in class and not here, but he'll be back tomorrow, I'm sure. Build your gravel energy with free, I don't even know this company, so I'm saying it, Aciona DLC. So cool advertising opportunity for them to give licensing, get it put in the game, make it free DLC, but that helps push their brand, and that is very, very cool. And anyway, keep the ad. There you go, Dave. This is a cool story that I am personally happy about. MB Sports secures the rights to Indianapolis 500. In America, one of the reasons I think racing is failing, there are a bunch, and I saw an article by, was it Sim Racing Observer? No, it was a write-up by Austin Ognoski, I think, formerly of Pretend Race Cars, talking about the death of racing in America, and part of it is because Americans are being publicly shamed into getting rid of their gas-guzzling vehicles, and we're all supposed to drive around in electric vehicles at this point in time, even though they all look stupid and don't perform the level that we'd want. We should jump on that boat now. But I think that is one of the things that is impacting racing, mainly here in America, and maybe everywhere. But the other thing is, when I was young, and when I say young, when I was 15, there was only two things on my mind: women and my driver's license. And I got my driver's license first. So, I got my driver's license the day I was 16, like many people of my era. It was the biggest deal. It was a right to freedom, and it was a big part of my life. And I think for a lot of people, for many, many decades, that's what a car and a driver's license represented. And I think that that has always been a big part of racing, is that we are an automotive culture. It makes sense that we would want to watch racing and race and all of that. Another thing that I think has really hurt American racing is what they've done with the television rights and coverage. And so if they sell it off to Fox, I might have to figure out one of 3 or 4 channels that it may or may not be on, and maybe my provider doesn't even carry all 3 or 4 of the Fox channels, and so maybe all of a sudden I get to watch a third of the season, and then they change and it goes away, or I wake up in the morning and I can't find the race and I jump around and miss it entirely. Anyway, I believe them centralizing the Indy 500, the Indy Series, and not having it severed is a good move. I think that will help. Is it too little too late? I don't think they should have ever severed things apart. Severed, talking Indy. That's a whole cart. Never mind. Let's not get started on that. Things that killed racing in America. Absolutely. Anyway, good news that NBC will have Indy rights for this coming year, or next year, I believe. Next up, RaceRoom, free weekend. So already going. So right now through the end of the weekend, RaceRoom is free content, and that's a good time for you to check it out because Sim Racing Systems just launched their RaceRoom footage or racing, and so maybe it's a good time for you to check that sim out and see if it's something that you really love. Maybe it's worth investing just a little bit of money into to get a good racing experience. And this is my funny of the day. Who sent this in? I can't remember. It's too far up in the chat. One of the good guys on our patron group posted this, and it made me laugh. This is Fast Track Sims actually selling the cool shirt to sim racers. And before you go running out and buying one, you do need a pump and an ice box, just like if you were using a cool shirt in a race car. Same shirt. I know this shirt very well. These plugs go into a little pumping thing that sits in an ice box, and it pumps cold water through. You guys see me race. You see how hot I get. I could probably use a cool shirt. But be warned, those things are really cold. Really cold. So you might want to think twice. But anyway, I thought that was pretty funny and something I didn't mind bringing to your guys' attention. And that does take me to the end of the news for the day. A few things to talk about. Again, go check out that Hot Lap Hump Day show. Go check out a little bit of it. Let us know what you think. I'm always dying for your guys' opinion on certain things, especially when we do something new or different. Because if it's really cool, maybe it's something I want to focus on and do more in the future. If it's really lame, maybe I don't ever want to do it again. Let me know your thoughts. I'm always listening. Best way is to get in the patron group. Talk to us there. Let us know in the live chat or send me an email at Shaun, S-H-A-U-N, @thesimpit.com. Beyond that, this weekend, the patron race. Ellis Jones, are you still here? Ellis Jones Memorial Patron Race. How sad. Ellis is sitting in the room, and we are running a memorial race for him. That is rude. Anyway, if you didn't catch the news, we did have a little network trolling thing that went on, and there was some misunderstanding about Ellis Jones, and he is in fact still with us. So what was originally the Ellis Jones Memorial Race that we will be running this Saturday with the patron group has been renamed, and it is now the Ellis Has Not Left the Building Patron Race. We'll be running that this Saturday. We're running the Mazdas and the trucks at Charlotte. Mazdas on the Roval, trucks on the Oval. It should be a very fun night. I will be broadcasting it. Josh Steam King is going to be in the booth giving me a hand, and all of our good friends on Patreon are going to be in the race, and it's going to be a first of many events. And if you haven't already, go check out our Patreon program. The description, I rarely plug anything for my show. I am today. In the description of the show is a link to Patreon. We hang out on Discord and we talk. We share stories. We have fun. We do special things. They're privy to certain videos that you guys never get to see. Never. They're just, I mean, they're videos that we never would have done. They're very live and raw, behind the scenes kind of stuff. And it's very cool. Plus, we do the racing series for those guys that I broadcast and make them the star of the race, which is really fun as well. So that will be going on this Saturday. We'll be airing that this weekend. And that is, I'm sorry, at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think I said 6. I meant 2 p.m. So, and I'll keep you updated on that as well and talk more about it tomorrow. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to promote Monday Fun Day now. Monday Fun Day this week is going to be a redo of RecFest, but I want to do it with you guys. So if you want to get in on the RecFest fun, number one, priority is going to go to the Patreon group because we're going to be arranging it in advance there. But if you want in, you just email me, let me know. Let me know you have RecFest, you want to play. We're doing it on the PC. That'll be Monday night at 6 p.m. for Monday Fun Day RecFest with friends, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And then the last thing, where is my graphic? I don't have my graphics. Sim Racing Systems. We are running our final race week starting tonight on Sim Racing Systems. We are going to be at Vallelunga for 1 hour of racing. This is going to be our first 1 hour race in the series, which should be pretty cool. A lot of people have asked me if it's a mandatory pit stop, and it is not. So it is up to you how you want to handle things. That will be at 6 p.m. tonight, and it should be a very exciting race. And tonight and tomorrow is our final week, and then we are moving on to the Lotus 125 for next season. I'll get a schedule and things up on tomorrow's show for that, and that should be very cool. I have not done any practice. Last night I was doing that Hot Lap Pump Day, and so what I'm going to do today is spontaneously go live at some point with my own Attack the Track, and it's going to be a little self-serving. As much as I'll probably stream it and let you guys watch, it's really about me getting up to speed and holding my own in that race tonight. So, want to do well tonight and prevent a Redemption Friday. And if I can do well tonight, then I can throw caution to the wind on Friday, which is always fun to do as well. So that is going to do it. Like I said, today's the day I'm going to promote the show a little bit. If you see that counter at the bottom of the thing, 33,140 subs. My goal is 40,000, and we have 59 days to go. And to be honest with you, at the rate of growth we have, that target is way off. We will probably be lucky to make 36 or 38,000 by my birthday, May 21st. 59 days from now. Do what you can to help us out. Talk about the show. Share it with a friend. post it in a forum or on Reddit. But we are trying to grow, and if you haven't, make sure you've subscribed to the channel, make sure you've liked our video, and do everything you can to help us grow. If you want to see more from me, I'm behind on reviews. A lot of it comes down to manpower and resources. You want to help us grow, and growth will lead to more and better content here at the Simpit. So that's going to do it for today, well, at least for the pit stop. Be back with that Attack the Track. Be back with our DTM series tonight at 6, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with another edition of the Pit Stop. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.